And then also by having a father in the home, perform better in school, less likely to live in poverty, and more likely to stay out of trouble. And so I know because they know a dad is just a different presence of a dad. There's nothing wrong with having trauma. We all do. You just need to do something about it. Come on, unpack the trauma with it. But for me, I had to learn how to get healthy, to be present for my son, present for my wife, present for my kid. I had to learn that and still learning. And so, yeah, so
Right.
for me, it was special expression emotions.
Yes, I see that. Even having the father in the home, but he didn't have that training. He didn't have that example. So again, even with the father in the home, if they don't, we can only teach or give what we know and have.
Right.
That's all we can do. So he didn't have that either. So he went from what he knew. And he passing it down to me. And I started out that way, but then I had to change because I saw that wasn't the result I wanted.
Yeah.
In my relationships, I want them to be different because I'm following the same pattern. That's all I know too. So I had to start changing that to give a different dynamic or end result in the relationships. And it's something when I think about what you said, and you said it and Tony said it as well, in our neighborhoods, we didn't have those kind of examples.
Ever, yeah.
Because I grew up in the church, I saw men hugging and crying and stuff like that. So it was never foreign to me.
Yeah.
Starting off young. So me hugging man, so, hey man, how you doing or whatever, and people not used to that. Guys, what's do? No, ain't no funny stuff here. I love women, right? But I grew up in different environments. So that don't make no difference to me giving you a hug or something like that. I grew up seeing men cry in the church, the presence of God. So I saw something different. So the environment, way I handled myself, and even growing up school, and I know my brother and I, my younger brother, we talked about this. People thought we were into same-sex relationships.
Because you in church?
Yeah. Well, because we didn't carry ourselves like the other young men in the neighborhoods or schools.
Yeah, well, yeah.
With many of them didn't have fathers, so it was just what Dr. Marsh, you just said about being hard and tough. We didn't have that exterior. We didn't have that feel. I still don't feel like I feel that way. Yeah. I said, no, I'm, they'll tease me at work. It's like, a new romantic movie came out. We're going to ask Rodney what it is. I don't have no shame in game. So yeah, romance is my number one genre.
Yeah.
I said, action will be the next one. Yeah. I said, but yeah, I love romance. And as a kid, maybe just like you said, growing up in a house with a father and a mother and seeing the dynamic between the two, I remember thinking about marriage at 8 years old. I said, man, I'm going to be married. I can't wait. Now, it's funny because when I was young, I didn't think about children. I guess in that time, I was like, no, I just want to have a relationship with my wife, and it wasn't a sexual-based thing. I just wanted to hug and kiss, and we go riding bikes, all these things you
Express
see.
love, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to experience just expressing that love with another person, a woman, being in marriage. From 8 years old, I could think back to that.
Yeah. For me, this is way different, man. I grew up in foster care, you know what I'm saying? I got molested at a young age. I associated things with things differently. So when it came to showing affection, I was very unaffectionate. I would never, for a long period of time when I was growing up, I didn't even speak. When they took me away from my mama, I wouldn't even speak. I wouldn't feel like, why would I even talking at all? Like, wouldn't say nothing, you know what I'm saying? But as I grew up, I was always hesitant, always defensive. Then I started using drugs after I got out of prison, and that just made it worse. Of course, obviously, real antisocial. Real after the molestation thing, it just I didn't like being touched. I didn't still kind of like any surprise touching. Like I don't, I'm not really for it. Like crowds. I'm not really don't do well in crowds. I didn't used to do well in crowds. It used to make me give me anxiety. I grew up with depression. I know now. I'll study psychology. But once again, I wouldn't be studying psychology if these things wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? So I sought out the understanding because of the trauma, because of it. Okay. I wouldn't even be able to define trauma if it were not for the trauma. More importantly, God, man, it just cleaned up everything, dude, and still cleaning up the mess that I am. So it's not like I'm done, but
no, we're not arrived yet,
brother. I've realized that the more I take my time with everything, the more God can have an opportunity to step in, correct my emotions, and even speaking to the fatherhood of like disciplining the child, showing affection. That was a big thing for me. I just talked to my psychologist and my therapist. I used to cry out to him like, I can't show affection. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what it is. Like I don't comprehend it. Like I just don't get it. Yeah, you don't gotta touch me to show me you love me. Like, don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't touch me. Like, what I force myself to do with my kids. Like, I started off just patting their head, and now I can hug them, and it was stages. You know what I mean? In regards to discipline, it took a lot of effort, though. A lot of effort, bro. Like for me, like it was like mind boggling. I had to really fight for this, like, because it was so hard, bro. They just so hard to. Just to do that, like just to be, not to be too hard on my kids. I know how aggressive. I know my presence have a presence. You know what I mean? So I hate inflicting fear on anybody, let alone some kids. So when I feel like, I'll just be like, man, I don't want you to be afraid of me, man. But you need to understand, you have to honor what I tell you, because I'm trying to save you. I'm helping. Right. Y'all parents.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
But I had to learn it, bro. I had to learn. It was trial and error. But it had to make a conscious effort to think before I speak, before I react emotionally within myself. I had to learn. Miss, what's her name? Mama Esme. Yeah, that's why I love listening. I love elderly people that got sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes a difference, man.
Yes, it does.
She saw me disciplining my kids one day. Go ahead, Pastor. What you say?
No. I'm listening. Okay. I'm agreeing with you. Yes.
Oh yes, sir. No, she would. I was scolding one of my kids in church right before church, and I was they told me what happened. I just started getting cracking on them. Like, man, what did I tell you? She's like, wait a minute, you don't do that. You ask what happened. Get both sides of the story. And I was like, man, dang, you right. My bad. You learn. Yes. Like, it takes a village, man.
Yes, it's true. It's true. You said it's a conscious effort. It is intentional. Every day we got to constantly show up and trying to grow and learn. I think we should always have a mindset to continue to learn to the day we die.
Yes, sir.
So we get better.
Yes, sir.
Constantly getting better. So I like that. It's intentional. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't. It does not just happen. Being a father, being a husband. No, it's intentional all the time.
I learned the definition of painstaking effort. Like I know what that is now. I can honestly say that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
painstaking
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, if you don't mind, I was. This is so great format that we did. Hope we help a lot of people. Because it does have impact, and it make us now in regards to this month to show up as fathers. I love being a dad, man. That's my greatest joy. I love taking my kids. I just love taking them to school, going over their spelling words with them, sneaking them at McDonald's when my wife said just take them to school. My daughter would call me and say bring some snacks. I thought you could do that, and So I remember, and my son, when he was going to go to the military, he was thinking about it. I put him in my car immediately, took him down to get tested. Anything, I was show up for him, And when he got into a fight, I showed him how to fight, because the one showed me. It just says, just don't let him hit you back. But also it teach you. But the reason I think he didn't get no more fights after that, because you also teach him how not to get around foolishness and avoid conflict and stuff like that. However, I just want to say this: study says that that 8 areas where a child's life will improve due to having fathers in their life. Like they'll be able to better control their emotions. They less likely to have emotion problems. They'll have better physical health, healthy relationships. I look at my son today, went by his house with his wife. He going there loading the dishwasher and said, "Babe, you need anything?" You know, so I know it's great to have that. They feel safe, have confidence. They're less likely to use drugs, alcohol, because I used to have that conversation with them, being transparent. You come from a family of my dad OD'd on heroin, my uncle OD'd on crack, my other uncle died from drinking alcohol. So it's in your DNA. So don't play with it, and it can happen. And then also by having a father in the home, perform better in school, less likely to live in poverty, and more likely to stay out of trouble. And so I know, because they know a dad is just a different presence of a dad. And so we encourage more men to, you don't necessarily have to be in the home to be a present as a father. Would y'all agree?
Right. That's true.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. So it's about showing up. And
Right.
so, because they need us. They need us, man.
Yep.
I know I needed my
Right,
dad.
for that part.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Very much needed, even though society might try to say otherwise. Because, you know, some crazy stuff being said on, you know, I just heard this week, and, you know, men are useless and not needed.
What?
And all these.
What?
No, oh, yes. No, this has been a thing this week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, people stating that, yeah, we don't even need to be on the planet. I mean, this kind of
What?
thing. You know,
Why
which
did they
is
say they're doing Father's
outrageous.
Week? They should say they're doing Mother's Week. We won't say them crazy like that.
I
doing
felt
it.
the exact same thing. See,
Yeah, where did all that come from?
right on near Father's Day, people getting out saying these kind of things, and it's this kind of movement, you know, where you couldn't use a mic or pretty much anything you doing. If okay, go find a little island and you build everything.
Yeah, handle that.
Yes, you built every single thing. We go out in the forest. You survived because men were protecting you all this time.
Just say that then.
Yeah, we were designed to do that, you know. So okay,
it's a system of God.
Yeah, and it was really bad to hear a group of women saying this stuff, and it, you know,
a group of women, Rodney.
Yes,
a group?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They were talking about it on The View, I believe it was.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, that these women were on social media and they were saying, yeah, men are useless. We don't even need them. And to see this kind of stuff is just so crazy, the mentality. And you're influencing other young girls.
Yes.
Right?
Nationally.
Right? Around the world, right? And so these kind of things, it's heartbreaking. And it's foolishness, really. It's just downright foolishness. So, okay, we take y'all group and take our group, and we're gonna go out in the woods and stuff. And don't call us. You don't need us. You know, well, we're designed to do something else.
And when they want to have kids, tell them you don't need our seed.
Exactly.
But get one of them deer.
Yeah.
One of them sheep. You want to get one of them sheep.
Right.
Figure it out.
Exactly. So it's just some outrageous things that's being out there. And I thought the same thing. It was right at Father's Day time, you know, where it is. It's very disrespectful. Yeah. It is. And as if we're nothing, it's just this crazy movement. But I hate that they're influencing other young girls and other women to start thinking these crazy thoughts, because you're not going to survive without a man down here.
The truth is needed, man.
Yes.
The presence of the truth is, you let these narratives continue. We know what the world
what it's coming to. I do recall being at school on a few occasions where staff, I feel like you don't really want me here. And I watched them how they treated the mothers opposed to me.
That's facts, yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, yes. I've run into other men and said,
felt the same energy. I know.
Yeah, you feel the energy. Like, you really don't even want me here.
Yes.
But you accept the women and you want to stay in control.
That part right there.
You don't want men here because our presence is totally different.
Demands.
Yes, that respect level. And they didn't really want me at the school certain times in the office. They try to brush me and get me out of there.
That's real.
And I'm watching with the women. I went, oh, you don't even want men present here. You want to stay in control of this whole dynamic. Yeah, this school would change if the men presence came in here.
The real man,
right?
That's real.
It would change all these kids in here. So I feel like in education, I'll be wanting, I said, we need some, I know, men that, act like men.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Masculine energy.
Go ahead,
you know what I mean? Masculine men. Because what this dynamic is changing with so much of this group forcing and men can't say this and you this and that. So you shut the men's mouth. And then things start changing. And the newer young men growing up weak and won't stand like they should as men,
Yep.
That don't mean you be aggressive. That don't mean you have to kill or hurt anybody. You can be a man and be masculine and in your energy and do the right thing and help people.
Yes.
And so they try to make it that if a man's involved, it's always negative. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of stuff this week.
Oh yeah,
you know, this violence. We know violence is only because men create this violence on the earth. I was like, what? I mean, it's just some outrageous stuff. This week, I just been like on edge. Every time I look at something else, I said, "You're out of your mind. Why are you coming up with this crazy stuff?"
Bleeding the blind.
Right, but you're infiltrating our children with this stuff in schools, and so we have to be present. I feel like at school, we that's somewhere we can be more present.
That's what. I'm glad you said. Yeah.
Yes.
More teachers, more black male teachers involved.
Yes, we need more men teachers, masculine men going there teaching, being a presence in the school, and fathers show up to those things. Go to the office, let them know. Yeah, I'm here, and I did that. My son's last year in high school. I said, I told his mom, we weren't together at the time. I said, well, you know what? Throughout the years, you've always checked the kids in the school, and I was always at work. I said, but you know what? I want my presence to school to know me.
That part.
Right? So how that turned out was, oh, well, you know what? You just go check them in. I was trying to join. I was trying to join to be a part. I wasn't trying to take over anything.
Yes.
But because I wanted to come with, they said, oh, you just do it. I said, I was shocked with that reaction. Yeah. I said, oh, so it's about keeping control and when I wanted to join in, dropped everything. I said, you know what? I can do that. I've never done it before because I was always at work. I wasn't doing nothing stupid. Yeah. So I went and checked them in, and I can tell the atmosphere, the office personnel is like, wow, really? Now you know how I dress. So I don't even go there, right? Yeah. So you know how I presented myself. I'm at a school. So I'm professional doing this, and I could tell they really didn't want me being part of this process. Yeah. So I checked them in, got everything well, and I made sure I showed up for everything. So yeah, Mr. Johnson is here.
You know my name.
Right. That's what I wanted him to know, my name and face. His father is present in his life. And I'm going to be present at the school too.
Let me tell you something happened, not to cut you off. My daughter had my only daughter, got into it with one of these little boys who think he's a girl, right, at the school, and thought he was going to fight my daughter. And I found out about it. I don't know where I was at. But I found I was there expediently. I don't mean to say it like that, but it is what it is. I got there and I was speaking to these people. I was like, y'all very nonchalant about this situation, man. If this little person touches my daughter, I'm letting you know now. It's gonna be a problem. You understand? I don't care. I came in there. Listen, I want you to know you're going to deal with me. I don't care how it go. I believe in God. I'll talk to him about it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, hey, we going to, Bible said comes a time for all things. Let's figure it out. Come on. Y'all know the Bible. I'll find a way to make it wiggle.
Oh my God. He said, what you do it quickly. Wait a minute.
Yeah, don't play with my kids. I'll die for them. I ain't got no problem with it. Don't. They know my name now. Like, let me talk to every principal. They got 4 principals at this school. I don't know how that works. 4 vice principals. Yeah, Palmdale High School. I said, Nah, I don't know when that started, how that even worked. But yeah, I went up there. I made 2 days back to back. I'm coming up here. I come. They call security. I was like, what'd you call him for? What he gonna do? Like, what let's address the problem. Like, it's a problem. Like, you trying to make it into something that's not.
Exactly. So, because they don't want you present dealing with any of it. Exactly.
Like they scared. Okay, we'll call the police. Let's make a police report then. Let's do everything the right way. Come on. Let's do it. That's it. They're gonna have to understand what happened. Why did this happen? Why? Like, let's get to that. You know what I mean? But I know how to go. I'm not used to it. I know my presence is something. So I don't trip.
Yeah, because that is how it is. In a lot of situations, they don't want men there.
Well, I'm just laughing. I did the same thing when Casey got bullied in 6th grade. I went to talk to the principal. Everybody, I said, look, he gonna hit the next time. He gonna hit the next person. I tell you that now.
Yeah.
And they're like, I said, I'm in the church. I already know that, so I don't want to hear that. But I know my sons have to get bullets. So I can tell you that now. So I already prayed on. That's what's gonna happen. And they said, right, if he gets suspended, I said we will have a problem. Y'all have a problem with me. Y'all gonna see me too. And right, because it's your kid, man. But that's the president of a man. I don't think my mom would never went to school said all that.
No, they don't. I'm telling you,
some mothers would though. Some mothers go cracking like, hey,
but
right.
The schools don't really want men present like that. You know, because so soon as we just show up, our presence is aggressive in their eyes.
Yeah.
So no, hey, that's my child, just like it's my mother. You know, the mother's, it's the same. But you know, you won't be able to emotionally manipulate me.
Yeah,
That's what they really know. No, I'm not going to budge. I don't care about no tears. If it ain't lining up to what we need to do, you can cry and all that. So that's fine. What I'm letting you know, either you take care of it, or I'm going to be here every day.
He go see my black face.
Every day. And so I know the situation. Say, I don't know. I guess a lot of fathers have been through that. So no, if you can't handle it, I'm going to be here every day.
That's real.
You don't want me here every day. Not saying I'm going to do anything, but you don't want my presence here. I'm just telling you, they don't want your presence.
Not every day. You don't want me.
I told every day, I'm going to be there.
That's real.
Every day, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to look a certain way. I did. I had my trench coat and them dark shades on. Wasn't going to do that. I'm harmless. I don't fight, I ain't carry no weapons, nothing. But just my presence there looking like that, you all scared.
Yeah.
You were intimidated. And that was the whole point. I said, look, my child is intimidated. You see how y'all intimidated? I don't want my daughter living in fear every day.
That's real.
My son, I don't want him coming to school and scared because somebody going to do X, Y, and Z and the staff ain't doing nothing. So since you can't, I'm going to protect my own.
I know, that's right.
Till you do it. So, you know, so we had those situations and I thank God, and, you know, things went smoothly and they did take care of it. So I don't mind. Let the police come up here. I haven't done anything wrong.
That part, yeah.
Right?
So,
so fathers need to be present, you know, in the home. And like you said, even if not, and if mothers, are you listening, then get positive men role models. When I say positive, because every man is not positive, every woman is not positive.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So we need to have the presence, though. So someone who can help them and teach them direction. And I think earlier, Travis, and I think that's what I got out what you were saying earlier. You know, as growing up, man, you didn't have no direction. You didn't have no pattern to follow and no direction. So what am I supposed to do? And that's, you know, the mothers play a position in that, and then the fathers do. And so we cannot negate or lessen the role of the father like we see our day and time do. You know, they make fun and jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to a birthday party recently, and the women had derogatory jokes and comments about the father. And I was offended the whole time because of that. I said, wow, all these other women, y'all, like the man is like a joke. But you wouldn't have had a roof over your head and you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have had none of this without that man. But he's a joke, though. He's always the butt of some kind of derogatory statement or something. And I was offended by that. I said, see, this is the society we come in. And that's why things are deteriorating when you take away that role or that position or that value, what a father brings and what the man brings to the table.
Yes, sir.
So,
great point. Man, it's been a great topics today. And again, I know we went some different directions at different times, but it all ties to me to the presence of a father in the home.
yes.
Yeah. And so, and you know, I also, you know, just to give kudos to the women, when you have both parents in the house, it makes a big difference. Because somebody say sometimes the mothers probably would have showed up, but not when sometimes they got two jobs and they just can't get there. And they're responsible. Me and my wife, we've been married for forever. And so, but we handled that situation totally different. She was like, maybe we should be doing that. I said, I got this. I got this. Let me do this. Because my son, if he go up there and tell me I'm praying for you, he gonna hit this boy back. That's what we're gonna do. So we gonna do this. Pray for me. I remember that.
That part.
Let's just go over there because we go down there. Cause if he don't handle this
start
now,
praying now.
Yeah, cause pray now for his strength and mind. Because if we don't handle this, he's gonna go through all through high school. They're gonna be hitting on him because he's a big dude. And if you get a big dude, they don't get reputation. They don't get reputation on my son. And so, and then also, that is just make a difference. Not that I was teaching my kids to be violent, but I was teaching them to have self-confidence and self-awareness and to speak up for yourself. And at the same time, after you had that fight, I also came and said, now you don't become a bully. Because there's always somebody bigger than you. And so I don't want you to fight. You don't do that. You stay away from trouble. All right. He's like, yeah, and he didn't because you also got to be careful. You don't want to think that you go around fighting because I don't believe in that either. It's just like, stay in your lane. No. However, at the same time, so man, this is great, man. I have healed to I think mostly from not having father, but it still bothered me different times. Not like it used to, but there were times in my adulthood when I was going through something really, really personal. I wish I had a dad around. I don't know if y'all went through. I remember one time I was driving down the street and my kids and all they big, and my wife. But I said, man, I just need a dad, somebody to talk to about relationship, talk to about finances. Man, I missed that, and so I tried to show up for my son, financially, spiritually, relationship, because I didn't have that. I made mistakes. Right. But I wish I had someone I can just go talk to as a male. And then sometimes, the males you think, it's not your father, and sometimes people do be judging, and and hold stuff over your head. And so, right. But anyway, David said, so this is great. Thank you, Mr. Travis and Tony. That Tony's off, and Rodney hosting it for us today. Rodney, you have any you closing remarks, or we'll start with Travis and then myself, and then Rodney, you can close it out. Travis, you have any closing remarks?
Okay.
I think because Rodney has it been about 2 hours? It looks like.
Yes.
Okay. Go. Travis,
1:57. So yeah, we pretty much there. Yes.
Okay.
Hour and 57 minutes. Yeah.
Travis,
but I just grateful for this experience. Like you say, the more you talk about anything, the more you deal with it. Like you said earlier, when I started talking about certain things, I still breaking down, so it's obviously still having an effect on me to some degree that I apparently was unaware of.
That's that psychology. But, you know that. Look at that psychology.
Yeah. I love psychology, man.
That's psychology. Look, everybody, it's cool. Come on, talk to me.
Yeah. I love psychology, man.
Yes, sir.
Great experience, man. Great talking to Brother Rodney, learning things I didn't know, man. And all y'all, Brother Tony, and Case, man. I appreciate y'all, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the network, man. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. I want to say it was great for me. To me, having this format, we're talking. When I hear you guys talking, that's why I believe in these type of groups. You realize how much more you had in common than uncommon. Because I realized our experience is the same. And then my one of my childhood friends on here, stuff he went through, I didn't know he went through. We both went through the same thing, but we didn't talk next to each other, right. And on certain things. Stuff was just foolishness we talked about, However, I want to say this has been great for me. Hopefully it helped a lot of men. Again, this is meant to be a non-harmful platform, and so if we offend anybody, it wasn't our intention. At the same time, but it's how we unpack trauma is by being very transparent and having our truth. So I think I share some of my truth today, and I appreciate you guys again. And so thank you for continuing to listen to us and following my turn to talk.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And then you can say it's on you, Rodney.
Oh, the show about fatherhood, or title of it, impact of growing up without a father in a home. And I do appreciate my dad and what he's brought to the table. I do. I know how important it is, and it's helped me as a man to turn around and to learn from him, and then to pour into my son and hope he does better. Any other young man that I can help. I know in society as a whole, men and fathers, we're needed. We bring what we're supposed to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. We love the moms, and we should have that same respect and honor and energy for the fathers.
Amen.
We should have that same energy. Mm-hmm. We don't see that, but we as men, we're going to have to support ourselves, basically, and encourage ourselves with that, because we know what we bring to the table. Mm-hmm. This planet, nothing get built without the men and the fathers, right? And that doesn't take away from the woman's role. We work together to raise the children, but we know our society has pushed down and degraded the father a lot. And I know some people say, oh, well, the father didn't do this and whatever. And a lot of that, though, you be honest, when you really start taking away the layers, you block fathers from doing stuff. Mm-hmm. You tried to emotionally manipulate, not tried, many were emotionally manipulated the children. Mm-hmm. And it had to take later years, like Tony, where he come and see his father who he really is, not from what other people said who he was. That part. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Just to have a relationship with them, not worrying about attaching financial or some kind of material something that you got to get from him. That's all he's worth. Mm. You know, and I know that I hate that feeling myself. I said, no, can you just call me and talk to me? And my children are not doing that. I just the one that's estranged. We don't have no connection. I would love to. Man, she just called, Dad, I just want to talk to you, man. And that had me in tears right there, just alone. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to talk to you. Or some advice, you know? You're not just trying to get something out of me. See, that can turn into other things. We can grow from that, but it takes two people. So if you're listening and you have a father and he's still alive and you can build something, if he's willing and that door is open, go ahead and do that. If you're a child, listen, yes, go ahead and do that. And fathers, reach out. You see, maybe they just need you to make the first step. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's what I got out of the show. I mean, it was a lot of good things, and hearing other people talk about their experiences, like my man here, Travis and Tony, and then Dr. Mars. So yeah, you see yourself, you see other things, and it make you grateful, and then you know you want to do better. So thank you for listening and watching and supporting and subscribing. We appreciate you. Thank you. And if you got any, if you have any suggestions, something that you want us to talk about, put it in the comments, and we're gonna do our best to try to get to those.
I like that. I like that. All right. God bless y'all, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Saturday.
All right.
Thank you.